Hello there, this is Mouse. We're going to work on our gamification scoring system in D2L today. We're primarily going to be looking at student ZZ just because that's what I have set up so far. And you're going to see we have a total column. This tallies the points earned for each of these 4 quizzes that I have set up right now. The quizzes are actually over here. This is the points earned as long as they score a certain percentage, and what we have is 75% set up in here, and we'll talk about that later. But off to the right are the 4 quizzes, quiz 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I put raw just as a note to myself, saying this is the raw score that we're going to get, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later too. But so right now we're gonna look at this zombie game totals tally, and it's in there set up, and we see that it's 14 points. I'm going to delete it for now so that we can actually go through setting it up again, and also we're going to check back into it later because we also need to see how to update it after we enter each new item. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to go through, we're going to find this zombie game totals, and to find it, we're going to go into the manage grades, and this is where we're going to delete it. We're going to scroll down. We have some other stuff preset up in there that just kind of stuck in there, and that's all right. But, and actually, I'm selecting it, but I know it's wrong. We have to select delete first. So we're going to go into more actions, and we're going to select delete. And now I'm going to scroll down to my zombie game totals, and we're going to delete it. Okay, so that is gone. We'll go back into the enter grades, and we will see that it is no longer having a tally column. It is just the 4 scoring percentages that we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new quiz. So we're kind of starting from scratch, but we're going to keep those first 4 quizzes in there. So we're going to go to enter quiz. And let's get back to the quizzes. We'll click on quizzes, and we're going to do new quiz. And I'm going to call it game quiz test 5 because I'm original and sequential. All of that fun stuff. Now we're going to create this item in here, even though, and by item I mean grade item. Even though it's not in there yet, we're going to choose a grade category. We're going to put it in the raw quiz scores. And we don't need the scheme. It will default to the regular grading scheme. We can talk about that later. And we're going to make this a 10-point total grading option. I'm just going to do 2 questions for now. We'll make them 5 points each. So we're going to add our 2 questions, just not 2 simple questions, and we'll go true, false. We'll get some fighting started here, and with a very simple question: are dogs better than cats? Of course they are. That's true. We're going to make it 5 points. Remember, going 10 total, 5 points each. So 5 points on that question. I have a dog and a cat. Love them both. That's all in fun. Next new question is we'll do another fight starting question depending on which hemisphere you live in. Is July typically hotter than January? And because I'm in the northern hemisphere, we're saying yes. So we got 5 points there. We're saving that. We have the 2 questions. It's going to be a total of 10 points. Availability, we're keeping that always. The only thing I'm going to change right now is attempts because we're going to demonstrate this a little bit later. I'm going to need more than 1 attempt. So we're going to go unlimited attempts for now. And that's all we need to do with this right now. So we're going to do save and close. And we have our 5 quizzes. Our next step, that's 1 of 4. So our next step is we're going to go in and make the formula item. So we're going to go into grades. And we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to take a look. Right here are so these are the formula items. Each of these are a formula that says, and we'll look at this, but it says if it's greater than 75%, if the score is greater than 75%, they're going to get a certain number of points. Just for the fun of it, I've gone up 1 point each time. I started at 2 and went to 3, 4, 5. We'll make this next one 6 for fun. You, of course, can do whatever you want for scoring items on there. One thing I do like to do, this is raw. I'm going to change the name of this just so I know that we are looking at the raw data. That's just the raw score that we're getting from the students taking the quiz or the test. So now we'll go through. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So no one's taken this quiz yet. So that is empty. But what we need now, before we do that, is we want this 5th formula item going in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Manage Grades. This is still under the Grades tab. We're going to go to Manage Grades, and we're going to create a new item. And that new item right here, we get to choose Formula. And this is going to be the Gamify scoring 5. Now, this is the 5th quiz that we're doing. I'm not going to do the short name. The category is going to be in the test zombie game. We're testing out the zombie game theme. The maximum points is going to be, I said we're going to do 5 points on this one, right? Or did I say we're on 6 now, aren't we? We're going to do 6 points on this one. And this is the crucial part, edit using the formula editor. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this edit using the formula editor link. And what we have is a little funky little D2L bright space type editor. And the way this works is you select your function. It's kind of backwards. This should be on top, but it's not. And we're going to do an if. And we're going to select if, and we're going to start this mathematical phrase. So that you have to use that button right there. You can't just type in the word if. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the line above it, and we're going to select the grade item, and we're going to do the quiz that we just created. And in that instance, it is the quiz test 5. What we're going to do is select percent. We're going to take that percent and we're going to insert it. So if we're saying that the percent of this score on that test is greater than or equal to, so we're going to select the greater than or equal to button, and we're going to say greater than or equal to 75. Now you can type in numbers on here. One thing I'll say, if you make a typo, you can't do backspace or delete on keyboard. You have to use this backspace button in order for it to delete the number. I don't know why. That's the way it is. So anyway, right now we have if the score on quiz test 5, the percentage of it is greater than or equal to 75%, then we're going to do this first result, and that is we're going to give them 6 points. Otherwise, if they get it wrong, we're going to give them 0 points. And that is the whole phrase. Now we need to finish it. So we have this bracket here, and we need to put that bracket in there and hit insert. And that is the whole thing. So if the score of test 5, the percentage of that score is greater than 75%, then they're going to get 6 points. Otherwise, they're not getting any at all. The grade scheme, we're not going to worry about. You can mess around with that later. And if you have questions, let me know. We'll talk about it. But this is really all we need to do with this right now. So we're going to save and close. And we're going to look at our grades. I like it in enter grade view. And we're going to have this Gamify scoring. No one has taken this quiz yet, so it's not going to show up. But we have to do one other thing first before we can get into the really fun stuff. And that is we need to make sure it is visible. We're going to go into the quiz. And we're going to go in here. We need to make it visible. Now the really fun part is under the grades, we're going to create another formula item that will show up in this category that will add the total for all these. Remember before we had it in there? I deleted it for the sake of demonstration. And now we're going to go in, we're going to go back to Manage Grades. We're going to do another new item. And this is going to be a formula. And we'll call it the Zombie Tally for now. I probably had a different name before, but that's quite all right. And we're going to put it in that same category just so it's in the same area and it's easy to find in your D2L grading. And right now, the maximum points that the student can receive, we have the 6. We have actually 5 scores at 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. I think we're at about 20 possible points they can get right now. So we could put in 15, but let's say we're actually going to go, eventually we're going to have up to 50 points total earned on this. So we're going to put in 50 for now, and that's fine. But the fun part is we're going to do another formula in here. So this is a formula, and we don't even have to deal with a function. All we need are, we're going to add each of our scoring. We have the first scoring, and we're going to insert it. And then we're going to add the second scoring, and we're going to insert. And we're going to add the third scoring, and we're going to insert it. And we're going to add the fourth scoring. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, and there's one more. And we're going to insert that, And that's it. So we're going to insert that, and this go double check it. It is adding up the 5 different scores that we have in there. We don't need to worry about exceeding for now. We're just going to save and close. And I'm going to go back to enter grades. And we should see over here, now it ends up adding it on the end of the column instead of the front where it was before, but it has added up the scores inside this test zombie game category. It's got the tally of the scores so far, 5, 9, 12, 14, so it's actually up to 20 points. Up to 20 points they can get right now. Now what we're going to do, that's pretty much the end of it, but we're going to watch it in action. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to first simulate being a student. So we're going to go in and we're going to be student ZZ. So we're going to click that. We're going to impersonate them. And that is fine. And we're going to take our quizzes. So we've done all these other quizzes. Last quiz, game test 5. We're going to go ahead and do it. And I'm going to show us first, we're going to get both questions wrong. Are dogs better than cats? No, they're not better than cats. Is July typically hotter than January? No, that's not true. And we're going to submit the quiz. The quiz has been submitted. And we are going to go back and stop being a student. We're going to look and see what happened in the grade book. So we click on grades. Oh, it looks like that might be, no, it's not. We'll click on grades, and over here, we got 0 out of 10 points on the quiz itself. So we got both questions wrong. We got 0 points. Nothing happened over here in the tally or in the formula item, and the score is still, the tally is still at 14. So we're going to take the quiz again. So we're going to come back here. We're going to go to class list. We're going to impersonate the ZZ student. And we're going to go to quizzes again. And we're going to take this quiz again, and I'm going to get one right. So we'll get 50%. Dogs are better than cats. Absolutely. Is July typically hotter than January? No way. January is so much hotter. Might be this year. And we're going to submit it. And so we know that we got 50%. But what we're going to do is we're going to close out of the demo student, and we're going to go back in. We're going to check out our grades now that we got a 50%. And we're looking. You can see we got no formula grade item score on there. But if we scroll over to this, we got 50% on the actual quiz. And this is, look at this. So we forgot to do one thing, and that is take it out of the final grade. So in order to get this not to be included in the final grades, we're going to go to this drop-down menu, and we're going to edit. And we're just going to go scroll down to exclude from final grade calculation and select that box and hop on out of there. And we should be able to see now that it is not going towards the final grade. So that is great. So now we have this and we have everything built there. What we want to do is take the quiz one more time. As at 50%, they did not get any tally points on the formula item. So we're going to take the quiz one more time as a student. And we're going to get 100% this time. And scroll down. Do the drop down. Impersonate. And going to take this quiz test 5 one last time, and by golly, we're going to pass it. Dogs are better than cats. July is hotter than January, as it turns out. We're going to submit the quiz. We'll say done. We will stop being a demo student. And we'll look at the grades. And we're going to scroll down. And first of all, you'll see in the raw score, we got 10 points out of 10 points, which is 100%. And over here, we got 6 points for making the 75% quota. And our new tally is at 20 points out of the potential 50. So everything seems to be working just fine and dandy. Please let me know if you have any questions. Derek.Frodel at frontrange.edu. Thank you.